Hey guys, what's up? Jeff here with Godbold Exotics. I wanted to do an episode. As you guys know, we have a few sponsors for the show. They're the reason that the show is possible, to be perfectly honest. So I wanted to showcase a couple products from one of our sponsors, actually our original sponsor, which is Reptile Basics Incorporated. Before I get into that, I do want to let you guys know we have two sponsors that have come on for 2019. That is Dragonos Caging. They're out of Washington. They're another cage and rack manufacturer. I know he does have a Facebook page, so check him out. That's Dragonos Caging. You will find a link in the description as well as a logo at the end of this episode. So if you wait through and watch it, you'll see the logo and you can get the link. Also, we have Echo Publishing that has come on. You guys may be aware of the complete ball python, the complete children's python, the complete carpet python, the complete chondro, the more complete chondro, those books, and there's a bunch of other books and publications that have come out through them. They have come on as a sponsor as well, so we're really excited for 2019 to be partnered up with some of these companies. What that tells me is that they believe in me. These are folks that I am, aligning myself with. I'm putting my reputation at the mercy of their reputation. So, and they're doing the same thing. So it's really good to partner up and to be able to, do similar things like this with some of the good guys in the hobby. So, without further ado, I'll get into a couple things that I wanted to talk about today. The first one is the new and improved radiant heat panels from Reptile Basics Incorporated. This is a cage. I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes because it is a new line of caging that Reptile Basics is making for arboreal species. They have not put this up on their site yet, but I am going to talk about it. But before I do that, I want to talk about the heat panel. So this is the new heat panels. They come in a pretty slick box, as you guys can tell. These do not come with a thermostat, but they're very, very easy to install and to operate. Comes with your cording right here, and it also comes with your screws and bolts that are needed. So I'm going to give you guys a close-up real fast. So as you guys can tell, we've got a hole right here, a hole on this side, a hole right here, and then right here. So you got one on all four sides. And the heat panel, this is the actual bottom part here, and this is the top. So it goes straight up like this, and it's really easy. Now, one of the things that I really had a gripe with Pro Products heat panels, which are one of the more original radiant heat panel manufacturers, is the design was terrible. Still is, he hasn't changed it. And you have to go through the insulation to install the heat panel. So if you ever want to move it or you want to uninstall it, transfer the heat panel to a different cage, it's really hard to do because whenever you take the screws out, they end up getting lost inside the metallic paneling around the heat panel, and they've got insulation inside there similar to the insulation that you use in your house. That's that kind of foam, so the screws would get lost in that, and it would be really, really hard to get them out. So it was really just a pain to work with. I've also used Helix heat panels, which I don't know why they decided to make that heat panel in reverse, but that panel is also upside down. It's really just a poor design. So I've used pretty much every heat panel out there, and my opinion is that Reptile Basics, A, they're the most affordable, they do have the best customer service, he is on top of it if there's any issue, and B, they're just really easy to use, and the design is just really user-friendly. So on this side here is where you actually plug the cord in that goes straight to the power source. So it's really just a great heat panel. And another thing that I like about these heat panels is when you have them plugged in, yes, they do need to be used in combination with a thermostat, but it doesn't get hot to the touch like the Pro Products. I had animals that actually got burned on Pro Products heat panels, and they were used with proportional thermostats. These are much safer. I know that there's claims out there that the Pro Products heat panels are safe, and they may be, but I had animals that were burned, and these were functioning proportional thermostats that they were hooked up to. I have not had that issue with these, and I can touch these with my hand when they're plugged in, and they're not going to burn my hand. But that said, you do want to use this with a thermostat. So if you use it without a thermostat, you're running a risk of overheating your cage, killing your animal, and you could cause a fire. So use this with a thermostat, make sure it's a good functioning thermostat, and make sure the probe placement is where it needs to be, which is, you know, you may put the probe at the level that you know, these are for arboreal. You want to put it right at the perch height to measure the heat. If it's a terrestrial cage, you want to make sure that you have the probe down at the bottom so that you are measuring where that animal is going to be basking. So just make sure you read the directions. If there's any doubt, reach out to Rich at Reptile Basics and he'll take care of you. He'll answer any questions that you have. This is the 40 watt and this is a 24-inch cube, and this is what will go inside of it. So I'll go ahead and get into the actual cage. So this is a new design that Rich has come up with. He does have some arboreal caging, but he doesn't have anything in the 24-inch cube. Truth be told, I think this is a little bit taller. So it's not exactly a 24-inch cube, it's a 24 by 24, and then the height is a little bit taller than a 24-inch. But these are great for your Amazon tree boas, your emerald tree boas, your green tree pythons, chondros, some of the arboreal colubrids out there, some of the boiga. This stuff would work really well for that. And you know, or you could use it for geckos. You know, if you house geckos in larger colonies, it would work really well for that. Some of the varanids, some of the smaller dwarf monitors that like to climb, like Gillini and stuff like that, it would probably work really well for that stuff. But anyway, this is a new display cage that they've come up with. Got really good secure latches here. This isn't just the little rinky-dink nylon stuff that you find at the hardware store. These are pretty secure. They're solid. This is a really thick door. I've never had a cage with an acrylic door that's this thick. I don't know what the exact measurement is of it, but it's thicker than anything I've ever had. There's a lining here that you peel off. I haven't peeled it off, but you can see right here it protects the PVC. You can kind of see it with the reflection. It may make that a little bit difficult, but I'm gonna set this cage up and I'm gonna, you know, put the heat panel in it, install the perches. I'm gonna do that this week, and I'm gonna do a follow-up to this video. It'll be here in just a few minutes for you guys because you'll be watching it all be in one video, but I'm going to show you guys what the cage looks like all set up with the light in there, and you'll be able to see the vents and everything a little bit better. But one thing I do really like about this cage is that there's a couple features that I will show you guys. First, I'm going to put this on the side here. If you look at the corner right here, that's actually wrapped. So it's less installation for you guys. You don't have to actually put these together. They ship totally assembled, so it's less work for you guys. It's really just a plug and play cage, which is awesome. Another thing, this is like my favorite feature, is that, you know, like my Amazon tree boas, they do bask, you know, they're arboreal, but they spend a decent amount of time on the ground. So what he's done is he's put an inlay, hopefully you guys can see this, but here's where the cord goes, and this is actually for you to put your heat pan or your heat mat. So if you want to run some flex swat up underneath, or if you want to run one of the heat pads, you can do that and actually heat the bottom or the floor of the cage while having a heat panel. Now this is used for supplemental heat. I wouldn't recommend you using this as your main heat source, because anything that's up top, you know, with perches or ledges, you're not going to be able to reach adequate temps if you just use a heat mat for belly heat. But for animals that may be gravid, it's a great place for them because they can sit and bask on that and really cook those babies and get the heat that they need. Also, you can see these like rivets right here, these little circle things. That's for you to stack. So you can actually stack these cages on top of one another, and they're going to stay in place and they're not going to move around. It's really good for you guys that like to put, stack 2, 3, 4 high. But anyway, I love this. It's going to make it so that you can put this in this section, and it's going to sit flush on top of the other cage, and it's perfect so that it's not going to squish any of the cords. You don't have to worry about that. You know, it's a real pain. And everything's going to be flush on top of one another whenever you decide to stack them. So I love this. I think this is a great a great, clever design for his cages, and there's no one else that's doing it. So he does have some pretty cool vents in here. You may be able to see them. They're kind of diagonal, kind of like a sideways V on either side. Again, you'll be able to see this better once I plug it up to the heat panel. I install everything. I put a light in there. It'll work really well. But hope you guys like it. Next few minutes, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like all plugged in. Thanks.
RBI Production.